Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the Bears going up against the 49ers. With that, let's get out west to Santa Clara, where we say hello to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are down the peninsula from San Francisco as you get a look inside modern Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
3 yards to go on 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Back to throw here. Well, this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And we get a peek at the offense and a peek at Alshon Jeffrey.
An absolute matchup nightmare for any defensive back. Size, speed, terrific hands.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. On the left side, a catch by White. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go! 538!
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Here we go!
And the D looking like they may blitz. Back to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now look at him go. Past the 20. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
Eric Reid is a safety that you can use all over on defense, both in the box as a tackler and back deep as a cover man.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
This is Howard on second down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They'll look to throw now on first down. Going for the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. A give to Howard. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Kaepernick now on first down. He's got Floyd out left. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. They find some open field here. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, 49ers. Keith Marshall, 79 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Caught on the left side by Ginn. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd down now after the pass completion.
Here we go.
Now Howard. And he's got room. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to sling this, looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. One receiver left, 2 to the right. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
3rd down now following the run. Kaepernick looking to throw, 3rd and 2. And this is caught by Jackson. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up 1st downs.
So a costly penalty and now a tougher 3rd down situation. And the back goes into motion. On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They come out here in the eye. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Again, it's Howard. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
Now Kaepernick operating on the bootleg. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They were trying to get it there to Michael Floyd. And it'll bring up third down. Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on third down. They come up in an offset eye. This is Marshall. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up fourth down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And this will be taken at the 13. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the guns. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on 1st down. And Miller with it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They go with Howard again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. 2 yards to go here on 3rd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. He'll look to throw. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game. And I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And here's Marshall. He cuts left sideline and a crease there. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Keith Marshall with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And it is now 21-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They pitch out to Howard. Room here to run. And the cut, accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, 74 yards. And the Bears cut into that lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and
again,
again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having...
Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run with Marshall. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he handed it to us, and then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line, and they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Throwing on first down is Kaepernick. Completes it over the middle to Floyd. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Fresh set of downs here.
Watch left, watch left. 22, eyes on 22. 91, check 99.
Kaepernick now on first down. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before half for Kaepernick. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we send you cross country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They come up in an offset eye.
91. Hey, alert 3.
Now Marshall. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2. Now third down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Play action. Now Kaepernick sliding out of the pocket. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's fourth down. Here's Bradley Pena now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And taken right on the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
toss play. Howard. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Buying time to his left. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And it brings up fourth down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Give them 16 on the pickup. And the 49ers are going to get a first.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how you guys are going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss. Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
Right side caught by Jackson. They'll get 5 on the dump off there, and that'll lead to a third down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath, sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there.
Third and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. Here's Kaepernick to throw. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Second down following the run.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. He's got the hook up to Floyd. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Time running out here on the play clock. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Third down, 15 yards still needed. Kaepernick now on 3rd and goal. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The play clock's running down. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. On the handoff, this is Howard. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taking on the midfield logo. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. 48 yards. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
And as soon as they hand a rookie his playbook, they say you better make your mark on special teams if you want to hang around. I'd say returning one for a touchdown will definitely leave a memory.
Yeah, that's a pretty indelible mark here early on in his career. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to air one out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
2nd down now after the incompletion. This is Howard on the toss right. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They run with Howard. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Play clock winding down. And they'll run it here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now on 4th down, Chip Kelly's going to say, let's bring out the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And Godot's kick is right through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
He'll look to throw, and he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And they're going to speed things up here. Running with Howard. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved him and got some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Back to throw here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 18. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Hey, 91!
And with the play clock almost out, Chip Kelly's going to take a timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Well, that 2nd down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Well, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.